In the mid-1980s, a radiation therapy machine called the Therac-25 gave several patients massive radiation overdoses. At least 6 patients received doses hundreds of times higher than intended. Some died from the injuries, others suffered severe permanent harm. The Therac-25 was a medical linear accelerator, used to treat cancer patients with controlled radiation beams. Unlike earlier models, the Therac-25 relied heavily on software to control safety, removing several hardware safety interlocks that older machines had used. The manufacturer believed the software was reliable enough to handle safety on its own. The problem was a software bug known as a race condition. A race condition happens when the outcome of a program depends on the precise timing of multiple operations happening at once. If a skilled operator typed commands quickly, faster than the system's original testers had anticipated, the software could enter an inconsistent state. In that inconsistent state, the machine could apply a high-power electron beam meant for one mode, while using settings meant for a completely different, lower-power mode. This resulted in radiation doses roughly 100 times greater than intended, delivered directly to patients. The machine's interface gave no clear warning that anything had gone wrong. It often displayed vague error messages like malfunction 54, with no explanation of severity. Operators, trusting the system, sometimes proceeded with treatment or simply retried the same steps, unknowingly repeating the overdose. It took multiple incidents at different hospitals before the pattern was recognized. Investigators eventually traced the failures back to the race condition in the control software. They also found that the manufacturer had reused software from earlier machines that still had physical hardware safety interlocks. Removing those interlocks in the Therac-25, while keeping the old software logic, eliminated the safety net that had once caught this exact bug. The technical root cause combined 3 failures: a concurrency bug, removed hardware safeguards, and inadequate testing under real-world usage speed. The software had never been tested with an operator typing as quickly as experienced staff naturally did. This is one of the most studied case studies in software engineering safety courses worldwide. It fundamentally changed how safety-critical medical software is developed and regulated. Modern safety-critical systems now require rigorous testing for concurrency issues, not just typical use cases. They also require independent hardware safety mechanisms, so that if software fails, a physical backup can still prevent harm. The lesson is stark. Software alone should never be the only barrier between a system and catastrophic harm. Redundant, independent safety layers are not optional in life-critical systems, they are essential. The Therac-25 tragedy remains one of the earliest and most important reminders of why software engineering discipline can be a matter of life and death.